Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to a rather overcast and windy day. It is Sunday morning, so last night was a very relaxing evening, watching a couple of movies, a couple of beers, homemade curry. Now, why did I come this way? Oh, I was going to go the other side of the road then, but UK driving reactions came out then. Oh dear. It was really weird being home alone last night, and it was eerily quiet, but it was lovely. It was just me and the dog, Milo. Just thought, oh my god, this is what it used to be like before I got married and had kids. Don't get me wrong, I love being married and I love my two boys, and it was nice just to sort of like, you know, be on one's own, shall we say. Don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed it. It was brilliant it was brilliant just relaxing. And then I started thinking back about, you know, what I used to do when I was a young youth, 18, 19, 20. You know, you just carefree, and all we wanted was fast hatchback car. You go to work, and then you'd save up for Saturday night, and then you go out and you blow a spanking lot of money on a Saturday night clubbing, going to all these different dance clubs throughout the north, you know, just reminiscing about them times, you know. And I've said this to the missus a couple of times, you know, I think I'm going through a bit of a midlife crisis. And she laughs and she jokes and she goes, there's no such thing as a male midlife crisis. Are you sure you're not going on about menopause? And I'm like, no, it's true. There is such thing as a male midlife crisis. So I did a bit of research online. Research is a loose term. I had 5 minutes of Google online looking for male midlife crisis. And there's quite a few blokes out there that are saying just like, maybe 5 minutes of Googling that suffer from the male midlife crisis. So the male midlife crisis, right, in a nutshell, is that a man reaches, you know, sort of the midpoint of his life. That's usually about 40 years old, isn't it? And then he has this sense of wanderlust just comes over him, you know, this sense of, I don't know where I'm going, backward looking at your youth. But I think it all stems as well that you're looking forward and you're thinking, my God, I'm 40 years old now. I've not got that long left on this man's planet. What am I going to do with myself? And this sense of fear enters into your life. And all sense and purposes, you're thinking to yourself, I've only got a couple of years till I retire. And then what am I going to do? I'll become a gardener, and what hobbies have I got? And then you look at yourself and you're thinking, I've got no hobbies. What am I going to do when the kids leave home, you know, and all that kind of stuff? And what am I going to do with myself? This sense of dread just enters into your life, and you start self-examining yourself in ways that you've never done before, and this has a big effect. It starts affecting the way you are, and a little bit of depression creeps in, you know, a little bit of stress, a little bit of maybe lack of confidence. Yeah, you start looking at your self-worth, you know. It's a very, very bad circle of being, you know, but that's a bit of a cliche, you know, 40-year-old man, and I am the cliche of a midlife crisis, by the way. I mean, I was quite late in having kids. I didn't have my second boy until I was 35, and my first boy at 30. At 38, I'd only just bought myself a Vespa. I used to go on these little rallies, scooter rallies with the lads down to the Isle of Wight and Brighton and all that. I think I was about 39, 40 when I bought the motorcycle, and I just get this massive sense of like wanderlust. All I want to do, just travel. I look at all these lads that do these European bike trips, and I'm in envy, real envy of them. The biggest cliche as well is me going off to do this Norway trip later on in the year on my own. I mean, what's all that about? I've been thinking of that for a while as well. I've been musing about that, thinking, you know, what am I doing this trip all on my own? But then there's other motorcycle adventurers that do trips like that on their own, but for other reasons, you know, mainly charity. The male midlife crisis, it's often mocked, and people actually question whether it's an actual thing, but it is real, because there's loads and loads and loads of blokes out there, all in their 40s, all feeling the same thing. I'm afraid I am a sufferer of the midlife crisis. I know that in order to sort my head out and to keep myself ticking over, I need to exercise, right? I need to go to the gym. Not only just for that, but also to look like a Greek Adonis on the beach when I go on holiday in the summer. But I need to go to the gym. I need to do a strength routine with weights, and I also need to do a little bit, 30 minutes to 45 minutes of CV 3 times a week at least. Hitting 40 years old, you get a new lease of life, you know. But you don't need to go out and make drastic changes. But as blokes with busy lifestyles, you know, life is busy. Life gets in the way, you know. And when you get to this stage of your life, this 40-year-old, people around you are dropping like flies, you know. Parents and grandparents and that start passing away. And you start questioning your own mortality. If you get to the stage where it is becoming a little bit on top and you are struggling with the depression side of life, go and seek help. Go and speak to somebody. There's always someone out there to help you. Don't struggle on your own. Guys, if you want to do further reading and sorting your head out through this time and this stage in your life, I can highly, highly, highly recommend a book called Chimp Management, right, by a professor, Steve Peters. He's helped out many sports stars, most famously Ronnie O'Sullivan, the snooker player, Vicky Pendleton, the cyclists, Chris Hoy, Steve Redgrave. He's helped loads of sports people out. You have to get a hold of your inner chimp. Yeah, Chimp Management, awesome book. Really sort of like makes you think about how your brain works. Tell you what though, gents, go and get yourself on a long motorcycle journey, and the way that you felt when you started will be totally different to the way you feel when you got back. Motorcycle therapy is the way ahead, you know. Just get banged into these twisty little bends and do something exhilarating. It's important to have like your own little hobbies, stuff that keeps you ticking over. You've got to find time for yourself. Good thing to do, gents, is write yourself like a to-do list of things that you want to achieve, you know, things that you want to do with your life, and tick them off. You know, keep your, they call them SMART objectives, don't they, you know, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic and timely. So, you know, set yourself like a time frame for them. If you want to go to Rome, you want to go and see the Vatican City, you want to go and see the Colosseum, go do it. You want to go and see the Alps on a motorcycle, go do it. Write yourself a list, gents. That's what I've done. Write myself a big list of things that I want to achieve and things that I want to do. Saves you making all these rash ad hoc decisions in your life, you know. Anyway, these are just my own views, the ramblings of a 40-something bloke on a motorbike looking for a bite to eat and a coffee in a cafe. The important thing is not to get too down about it, you know. There is help out there. That's my ramblings anyway. Let's go and see if this cafe's open. Looks like it is.